Well, there goes a band I've never heard of until today. Open Hand. This is
Man,
the end on Night Sounds. Barry and Joe here, and thank you for finding that, Joe. That was a banger. It was a good song,
finding
man.
it. That's a 20-year-old song. I am your new music discovery machine, man.
Who
I
knew? Who
I
knew?
love I put that in because okay, so that was a band back in the early 2000s. They were like a big commodity in Los Angeles. Everybody wanted this indie rock band. I think they signed to Epitaph. They got one album out and then they broke up. They have reformed and they are playing again, and I'm really excited. They're really really cool. If you like punk with some prog rock with some emo, yeah, Open
Oh, dude,
Hand
we
is,
just
is
heard
your,
it.
is your
Like, I'm
thing.
sold from just that one song. So
Yeah, it's a good
that's
one.
that's a banger. That's a banger.
Hmm.
So you found that on CD, and that was the era. It was a 20-year-old song from the era
Oh,
of
oh,
compact disc.
did I have it on CD or were we still swapping cassette tapes? No, I think I had it on a burned CD from their show. Like they actually just like burned it
Uh-huh.
and were giving them out. Yeah. So good
Well,
times.
here's some uplifting news for you, Joe. Sales of CDs have risen last year for the first time in 20 years.
Wow, it's like the 90s again.
Yeah, it's the highest level since the days when Destiny's Child, Limp Bizkit, and David Gray were on the top of the charts in the UK.
Who's David Gray?
That's why I said the UK. You have to.
Oh,
He's like
he must be like some DJ back in the UK or
no, man.
something.
He had a
Who's David?
hit. He had
Who's
a
David?
hit
Well, then
called.
who's David Gray? I know
He
the
had
other
a
people you're talking about.
he had a hit called Babylon here. Babylon, wow, 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 wow. But over there, he had tons of songs, man. He's just, an import that never fully made it over here. But he was top in the charts 20 years ago.
So
And,
wait, why are CDs so big in the UK right now?
well, it says as a result of price inflation and the success of more expensive exclusive albums being snapped up.
It's what Taylor does. That's right, because Taylor will do. She had a Target distribution deal where she would do a CD release, and that specific CD had specialty tracks that you couldn't get anywhere else. That was how she was making the CDs work. So I guess it kind of works still physically, but this is just a blip, right? It's not like CDs are on their way back up.
Who knows, man? I mean, you can only go by the data, so we shall see. It
Well,
says,
yeah. Okay. Well,
it
what is
helped
the
out.
data?
It helped out vinyl too because vinyl had a
Oh,
really weird year in 2022 or 2021. I mean, and last year, a couple years, it rose by 18%. So that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
yeah. Well, see, I would think that I don't know. In the long term, though, are
Hmm.
people going to still be collecting CDs? I mean, I get the collection value for vinyl, and audiophiles who like want to put the vinyl down and get the needle and like get that warm kind of crackly sound that audiophiles love. But I can't see people doing the same thing and collecting CDs again. Like
Well,
I just don't see the value.
according to this news I read over listening to my vinyl record earlier this morning, they say that CDs are a digital format. You can keep them forever. That's an attractive thing for people, and it's all about discovering stuff. They say more independent retailers are beginning to stock CDs because younger people want to show off their record music collections. So that's why they're picking it up, is to say, look at all the CD. And I'm guilty of that too. I have about 7 CDs, and I show those off just simply because I only have 7. And I'm like, look at
Because you
these
have
7.
Okay,
These.
at the height though, how many CDs do you think your collection had?
Oh, I had a wall. I had
I had
a
I
wall
had
of
a wall
CDs.
too. I had like 500 to 600
Yeah,
compact
no,
discs.
I had a wall. And then I stupidly put them in magazine books, you know, so I could carry
Oh,
them
really?
around.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that really lowers the value of CDs.
Oh, you know what I used to do is I would take the original, I would burn a copy, and I would put the copy in that magazine book for my car, and I would keep the original on the wall. But then once digital came around, um, I didn't see any kind of need to hold on to any of my CDs. I kept the covers that I had signed. And then I eventually even gave those away to like friends who were fans of those bands. Um, yeah, but I went fully to digital. I have like a few CDs left. I think one CD that I think the only actual original CD I have is Face to Face's Don't Turn Away. That's it. Because
Oh man.
it was like my favorite punk
Yeah,
album of
see,
all time.
that's kind of how I am too. But when I go to the radio station, there's walls and walls of CDs that I can finger through, and that
Really?
gets me. Yeah, it gets
I
me.
would think that I would think it would just go back to vinyl as far as collecting, and I don't know, like the vinyl books are much nicer than the
Yeah,
CD
but they're
cover
not
books.
as easy to use. You really
Well,
have to
sure.
have a steady finger to use vinyl. And once you scratch it, it's over, Buster. You get one of them skippers that skippers. And then you're in trouble. You're in big trouble. CDs don't really do that. I mean,
Really? My CDs skipped all the time. I was mean to my
yeah,
CDs though.
it's more the player though. Who's
But
really at fault,
but
Joe? Is it
also
you?
for digital, as a runner and a runner who likes to listen to music, man,
Yeah.
carrying the CD or the cassette player was awful. Having it just in my head, in my earphones, awesome.
Well, let's play one half of a band that started on CD, but then I think this band came out years later when CDs were obsolete. Let's play some.
They still released it on CD first.
They did?
Yes,
No.
they did.
Far out, dude.
Yep.
Well, I'm playing this digitally, so eat your heart out. Here comes plus 44 on Night Sounds. Baby, come on.